Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sah Viryam Karavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Ashtavakra Gita is a journey, as I mentioned yesterday. You have to undertake it step by step. On one fine day, you cannot just jump and reach the goal. It has to be gradual. That's why Sri Krishna says all these grip of the senses on the mind is not easy to get rid of. But step by step, shanaihi uparamed, gradually, step by step, one must withdraw. All of a sudden, if you try to withdraw, then you will suffer with those withdrawal symptoms like the alcoholics. One fine day, if you stop their alcohol, we get a lot of cases in the hospital, drunkards who are addicted to drinking. We try to teach them how to overcome that temptation, the desire for drinks, because they're ruining their health. Many come with liver cirrhosis, so many other problems, kidneys are gone, lungs are not working because of excessive smoking. When all this is happening, we try to explain to them this is harmful for you. You should not engage in this. This will destroy you. They know that it will destroy them. Janami dharmam, nachame pravritti. I know what is right, but I do not have the willpower to do it. Janami adharmam. I know what is wrong. Nachame nivritti, but there is no way I can get rid of because I am weak minded. I don't have firm resolution. I don't have determination. I don't have the willpower to do the right thing and avoid the wrong. So I just get carried away. I think today I will not drink, but by the time sun sets, that's it. All the determination to not drink goes away. And then you start drinking again. And after finishing a full bottle, then you are again with pain in your liver and stomach. You cry and then come off to hospital saying, please save me. And we reprimand them, say that you did that again, we told you not to do it. You promised, you broke your promises. This is not fair, this is not right. He says, no, I'm very sorry, I will not do it again. Please help me now. So we help, again he goes back. Again the sun goes down and then this man is downing bottles after bottles. The mind is like that. It's very difficult to teach the mind the right things because it is generally bound to the senses. That's why it is said, Indriyani Paranyahu, the senses themselves are very powerful because they run behind whatever the sense objects are. So Indriyani, the senses are Parani, means very high or very powerful they are. It is said, Ahu. Indriyebhya param manaha, but powerful than the senses is the mind. Mind, if trained and taught, can control the senses. It won't allow the senses to do as they want. It won't allow the senses to drag you wherever you want. And manasastu para buddhihi, above mind is intelligence, which discriminates. Drinking would ruin my liver. If my liver is gone, I will not be surviving. If I don't survive, my family will be on the roads. My children's future will be destroyed. So you start discriminating, thinking, intelligence you use. Not just mind is simply something that helps you experience the world. Good, bad, ugly, everything you experience through the mind. So senses help you experience some pleasure, so mind is happy that I have experienced pleasure. Same thing, if senses do not experience pleasure, mind is unhappy. So that matra sparshastu kaunteya shitoshna sukha dukkha, it says. Because of the touch, we experience cold or heat, and accordingly happiness or sorrow. Fire in the winter gives you happiness. Fire in the summer gives you sadness because it's hot. So fire itself is not at fault. It's the circumstances in which you experience that fire through your mind and senses. That's why. The Krishna says, Matra sparshastu kaunteya. Because of the touch or this engagement with the senses, we experience heat and cold, and accordingly happiness and sadness. Because the engagement with the senses. If we don't engage with the senses, we don't experience these things. But who engages with the senses? The mind engages with the senses. Senses are the body. Mind engages. Mind is the ability to experience the world. So that engages. So Krishna says that because this is like that, you do not engage too much with the senses into the world. Only as much is needed. Yesterday also he said, Atyanta sansakta you should not be. Over engaged, over indulging should not be your nature. As it is needed, eat right as much is needed, sleep as much as is needed. So also do everything in the world as much as it is needed, not out of greed. Don't excessively engage in the worldly things through your senses and the mind, because you also have an intelligence which tells you how far and not further. That is the conscience which pricks when you are going to the wrong side of the things. It tells you deep within. You feel that discomfort. You feel that feeling of guilt. That is the call of the conscience which says, watch out. You are slipping. You are losing control. You are being carried away. You are becoming helpless. Regain control over yourself. Gain your discrimination. And make sure that you don't just get washed away in the emotions. So buddhi can, because buddhi has memory also, chitta we call it. Somebody the other day asked what is mind. So mind has four parts. Manas, which is the thoughts. Buddhi, which is the intelligence. Chitta, which is the memory. And ahankara, which is the identification with a body or anything. So four aspects are there. So mind itself is just thoughts. It is the experience of the world. Buddhi, which is one part of the mind, it is intelligence. It knows how to discriminate. And chitta is that part of the mind which stores memories. Last time you burnt your finger in the fire, that memory remains with you. And next time you see fire, you realize that fire can burn you. So you will not put your finger in the fire. That is the memory of last experience that mind stores. And ahankara, which is the fourth aspect, which is I am so and so. You identify yourself with the body. Ahamkara means that identification with I, with anything. That is, this is mine also is ahankara only. That is called mamakara. Ahankara means I, mamakara means mine. Both are the properties of mind. So the mind is the reason why we experience all these things. Is what. That's why Krishna says, don't engage too much with the world. Just enough that will help you survive, that help you sustain, that will help you follow your spiritual path. To that extent only you engage with the world. Beyond that, excessive engagement, atyanta sansaktaha, should not happen. Do not get overtly indulging with the mind and the senses, because they are dangerous. Everybody starts, all drunkards start, only one glass today, that's it. After that, no more. By the time you realize, 2 bottles are gone. Why? Because habit. We are creatures of habit. Once we lose control, that's it. There is no end to it. So many people have ruined their lives because of such addictions. Now the new thing is digital addiction. You open your mobile, you just don't know when to stop scrolling. The finger just keeps moving. Baladiva niyojitaha. As if you're forced. Anichannapi varshnaya. Without wanting also you're scrolling. No, 10 minutes, that's it. After 10 minutes, you realize it's already 45 minutes. Just addiction. Mind is like that. It wants to engage with senses. And what we call as, you get this excitement because of the dopamine. There are hormones, happy hormones that get released in the body when you do things that pleases the senses and the mind. Which means you get addicted to it. You want more of that excitement. You want more of that excitement. And then it keeps pulling you deeper and deeper and deeper till there is no point of return. You reach there. That is the dead end. That is the way of the mind and the senses. So says excessive engagement is no good. Should know how much control you should have. Beyond that, no. Because if overeat also, spoil your stomach. Even if the food is good, it will start giving you pain after some time if you have eaten excessively. Rasavarjam rasopyasya, he says. Rasavarjam is eating. Rasa, part of it is the desire to eat. Stopping eating is one way to control yourself. So nothing is going inside. But imagine the desire, it makes you go vomit and eat again so that you can enjoy as much as you can. So mind and senses are like that. That's why Ashtavakra says excessive engagement is not allowed. See, if you don't engage with the senses, you can't survive in this world. You have to talk to people, you have to eat your food, you have to sleep, you have to do whatever is required. And as Krishna says, whatever karma is within the rules of dharma, that karma is also allowed. Why? Because you must have children, you must grow the society. I mean, those who have those aptitude, they should continue lineage, they should have progeny, but within the purview of dharma, within what is righteous, what is scripturally allowed, within that you operate, it is still okay. Yet you don't operate out of desire for it, you operate out of a sense of duty. You don't do it because of desire. See, Vasishtha had 100 sons. And when Arundhati and Vasishtha were going somewhere, the river was totally flooded. And Vasishtha told, if I am a brahmachari, it means if I am a celibate, if I have never engaged in any physical interaction with any woman, let this river subside, let the flood subside, and let the river give me way to walk. Arundhati was his wife, laughed and said, what are you talking? I have borne you 100 sons, I am your wife. How can you be celibate? How can you be brahmachari? He says, if I am brahmachari, this should happen. Immediately the river subsided and made way for them to cross. Arundhati was shocked. She said, how is this possible? Physically it is not possible. Physically we are not a brahmachari because I am your wife and we have had 100 sons. How can you? He said that because body was doing what was needed to be done. I as the self was never engaged in it. I had no desire for it. Body as a part of its process, it had to father 100 sons, it did what it wanted. But in my mind, in myself, there was no desire for any interaction or engagement with a woman or having children. That was not there. As it was destined, it happened. I never considered or identified myself with that activity or myself with that person, the father. I am the self, untouched, unblemished. And that is why it does not entangle me. I still am a celibate only. If you have that knowledge of the self, go into the world, engage with it. Nothing will touch you. But if you don't have that knowledge of the self, then better have limits and controls in place. Don't compare yourself to Vasishtha and saying, when nothing can touch him, how can it touch me? Because he's Vasishtha, he's a jnani. And he's not doing things out of desire for it. You understand the subtleness of the difference between rasavarjam, rasopyasya. Rasavarjam means you can stop yourself from engaging because you have, whatever physically you have separated yourself from the situation. But mentally, can you separate from the situation? Mentally, you may still be craving for those things. Physically, you might look very good and nice. Mentally, you have all these ideas which are harbored inside your head. You are secretly desiring for it. So Vasishtha was having no desire for such an engagement or enjoyments of the world. He was a Maharishi, he did what is needed to do and he had to continue the lineage and give more children and whatever has to happen in the ashram, he went on. Wife was thinking that she is the mother and they are the children. Vasishtha never thought like that. He saw everybody as self only. He saw in everybody the same divine principle. Only pots are different. Content is the same. So he never got attached to the pot. He was only interested in the self, which is the content. So he saw his children also as the divine self, wife also as the divine self, everybody as the divine self only. Only for the sake of engaging in what were his duties, he engaged in it. That's it. Beyond that, he was not. He was not like that Shaubari Muni went to meditate underwater, saw two fishes mating and lost his control. So much so that he created a whole kingdom out of his Maya Shakti, married 50 women, had hundreds of children and grandchildren, and never realized that he was actually not supposed to do all this. He was supposed to be meditating to realize the self, but at the end, because of just what he saw, the two fishes, not even humans, in that only he lost all control. That is the idea that senses are so powerful, they can steal your discrimination away. So what do you do then? He says use intelligence, higher discrimination. Because that will tell you what is right, what is wrong. You're on the spiritual path, your discrimination should tell you this is what is right, this is what is wrong. So I must engage with these and not with those. You go to Chikbalapur and you ask the bus driver, I want to go to Bangalore. He says that is the bus that goes to Bangalore. But the bus is not good. Let us say there is no air condition, there are no passengers, the seats are not nice. It's an old rickety transport vehicle. But the bus that is going to Hyderabad is fully air conditioned with a cinema playing inside it, all cushioned seats, recliner seats. What should you choose? You will say, oh, Hyderabad bus looks good, seats are nice, TV is nice, and all that. Let me sit in the Hyderabad bus. Then you will never reach Bangalore. That is the intelligence. Getting tempted by the looks of the bus and sitting off inside that without thinking, where is it taking us? That is foolishness. If somebody does it, you laugh at him. Same way the Gyanis laugh at the Agyanis. What are you getting indulged with the world, so entangled in these worldly things? Where is it taking you? So, should I not marry? Should I not have children? Should I not have family? Within dharma, yes, you can have. But as long as you are not getting entangled and attached to it. See, even birds are there. They also have babies. The moment the baby grows and takes to the wings, the birds push them out of the nest, saying, you are on your own. They don't expect their babies to feed them in their retirement and look after them. There's no attachment. Animals have no attachment. They will kick their children out of the nest or the den, saying, go, I will look after you only so long as you can't hunt for yourself, fend for yourself. After that, I don't want you at home. They'll kick them out. Humans, oh, look at the attachment of human beings to their children. Dara Putra, wife and children, attachment to. What is the attachment? No, I will feed him now, I will grow him. Already expectations are building. When he grows up, he'll become a doctor, engineer, this, that, and after that, in my retirement, he will look after me. He will do this for me, do that for me. Whole list of expectations are already ready. We never get out of it. And when the children don't respond the way we want, what happens next? We get angry, we get upset, we curse ourselves, them, everybody. The attachment of human beings. Animals don't have that attachment. Whereas human beings are so severely attached. And that is why we don't progress. That is why it was given very clearly, okay, you cannot be a sannyasi right in the beginning, fine, be a grahastha. But remember that last stop is sannyasa only. You be grahastha. But at the end of it, you have to be a sannyasi. You be a householder, but at the end, you have to be a renunciate. At some point in time, you have to draw the line, saying that this is it. I have raised the children, I have put them in their path. Now I must disengage from the family, go to a forest or whatever ashram, and live a life of service and spirituality, and finally withdraw within and become a total renunciate and purify myself so that I can attain liberation. It was because not everybody is capable of being Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, isn't it? He also had a wife because he was forced to marry when he was only a young boy of 7 or 8. That time those things used to happen. But after he realized that I don't want marriage, he tells his wife, I see only Mother Goddess Kali in you. How can I ever think of you in any other way? Please forgive me because I just can't bring myself to think of you as my wife. I only see the Mother Kali in you. Please forgive me that I cannot do the role or the duty of the husband as it is demanded. And she is also so wise. Initially she is crestfallen because she is younger. She doesn't understand what is this man talking. I am got married, I am supposed to be wife, he is supposed to engage with me in doing all the householder's duties. And suddenly he says, I see Mother Goddess in you, I can't touch you, I can't speak to you this way. But she realizes herself. She says, all right. Over a period, she understands that my husband is a jnani. And that is how it will be. It won't be any other way. Instead of lamenting her fate, Ayo, wrong person I married. Well, how will I have children now? She takes the opportunity to redeem herself too. She also follows the path of the husband and says, let it be, I will also become a renunciate like you. May this joy of self-realization be mine too. Bless me. And there onwards, Sri Ramakrishna also teaches her how to realize the self, how to be devoted to the Mother Goddess. When I went to Dakshineshwar, I went there to see Ramakrishna's room and also where Mother Sharada used to stay. Small, hexagonal, small building. And they were telling 6 of them used to sleep in that little room. And there was a small kitchen behind where they used to cook, and the staircase used to go up. There was upstairs too. Whenever her mother used to come, that is Sharada Ma's parents used to come, they used to stay upstairs. And that's it. That was their life. In the temple, one corner was given. She was doing her part. Sri Ramakrishna was living elsewhere. And both came to terms with this. That yes, we are here for a spiritual reason. Though we got married, but we will live a spiritual life. So this is how they lived. And at the end of it, as we know, when Sri Ramakrishna passed away, it was Mother Sharada who guided the young monks and told them how to take forward the monkhood and the mission. So she also became a jnani in the process. So these people are those who cannot see people as human bodies with beauty or ugliness, with their different types of looks and feelings. They just see them as self. So they can't see the differences, therefore they don't get entangled. A jnani should be like that. So what is the way of the ajnani? He's definitely going to get tempted every now and then. Draw lines, draw rules. Within the rules, you'll do your part. Don't cross the lane and get into accidents. Follow the path, follow the rules. That is what is said for ajnani. At least begin like that. Yogta ahara viharasya. Control, moderation, the middle path, the golden mean, whatever we say. Start there, he says, for the ajnanis. But now Janaka claims to be jnani. So Ashtavakra is questioning his abilities and saying, if you are really a jnani as you claim to be, then where is this sway of senses possible for you? How can senses ever drive you to do things helplessly, as in the case of ajnanis, who get tempted and they fall into it again and again? That is the question he asks. Obviously, these are all questions to make Janaka think, have I overcome the desire for worldly pleasures, or is it still lurking somewhere? No, physically I might overcome. I might put my wife in another building or a bungalow, I may stay in another bungalow. But the thing is that mentally have I overcome? These are the questions Janaka must now ask and answer for himself, having realized the same. This is the way Ashtavakra, as a good guru, checks on the reality of Janaka's realization and then continues in the same tone further some more questioning. He doesn't give up just so easily. The next shloka in page number 210, 3.7, it says, Udbhutam jnanam durmitram avadharyati durbalaha ascharyam kamama kanksheta kalamanta manushritaha. He says it is astonishing. Ashcharyam again he is saying. Ashcharyam means surprising, astonishing. What is astonishing? That Udbhutam Jnana Durmitram. Jnana Durmitram means the enemy of wisdom. When the enemy of wisdom arises in you in terms of the desires. What is the enemy of wisdom? Wisdom, desires. Kama. So Jnana Durmitra is Kama. That is wrong desires. Now when Kama arises in you, which is the enemy of your wisdom, how can somebody become so weak that out of the desire that has arisen, he follows suit? He follows it till the end of his life without even realizing it. Even when his end is approaching, he is unable to conquer the desire. How is it possible for a jnani? I'll be surprised if a jnani behaves like this. That when a desire arises in him, he follows it, he wants to fulfill it. Even if he is coming and approaching the end of his life, still at the end also he has desires for it, things. Shankaracharya says, Angam galitam palitam mundam dashana vihinam jatam tundam vruddho yati grihitva dandam tadapina munchate asha pindam. Says, the one who has become old, Angam galitam, all the body and its functions have become weak. Palitam mundam, the hair has fallen, the head has become bald. Then dashana vihinam jatam tundam, his mouth has become empty, means all the teeth have fallen away. The old man, vruddho yati grihitva dandam, he is old and he cannot walk, so he needs the stick to walk, a walking stick. Bends over and walks with the help of a walking stick. Tadapina munchate asha pindam, even then his desires are not finished. He still wants to enjoy the world somehow or the other. Even in that situation when his body is incapable of enjoying, the head is empty as both hair and the intelligence, mouth cannot eat, yet his desire for the world is not gone. Secretly he wishes, if only I had teeth, I could have eaten a little more. If only I was a little more young and able-bodied, maybe I would have married one more time. If only I could have had. So they keep desiring for it. I have seen people. How is it possible that such a person who is a jnani, who knows that desires are enemy of the wisdom of the self, yet till the end of his life he craves for it? Even when the end is nearing, he cannot die easily. That one joke is there, puts 4 children's name as Rama, Krishna, Govinda, Madhava. thinking that when he dies, he will remember Ramakrishna, Govinda, Madhava, and he will get redeemed somehow. But on his deathbed, when he is about to die, he calls out Rama, Krishna, Govinda, Madhava, all the four sons. They all come running from the shop, saying, Father, Father, what happened? He says, all four of you have come here. Now who is looking after the shop? And then he dies. So their desires are like that. They are not done. They appear to be desireless, but deep down the cravings are there, which don't go easily. So rasopya rasavarjam rasopyasya param drishtva nivartate. Those who have realized the self, for them both the engagement with the senses and the desire for it both disappear, both should disappear ideally. Or like Ramakrishna Paramhamsa said to that young fellow who asked, have you overcome all their senses? Have you conquered your desires? And Ramakrishna Paramhamsa said, no. He said, oh, you are Jnani, you are also not a conqueror, you have not conquered your carnal desires. He said, no. But I know how to handle them, he said. I know what to do with them. And then he said, one day I was sitting in Pachavati and I was thinking that, oh, I am a great yogi. I have conquered all my desires. Just then I saw somebody and my temptations woke up again. And then I fell on the earth, buried my head in the sand and cried, saying, oh mother, forgive me this arrogance that I have conquered my desires, I thought. It is without your grace, it is not possible. It can't be with my efforts. So I buried my head in the sand, cried to Mother Kali, saying, forgive me for this arrogance that I am a yogi and I have conquered my senses and desires. The truth is that I haven't. Only your grace can destroy us. I cannot, as human effort, I cannot go too far. Your grace is needed. Like that he tells that this is the way of people of Jnanis also. So idea is that, you see, Jnani's consciousness is also ocean. Waves will rise. When wind blows, waves rise. That is what he said. But they remain unaffected because they identify themselves with the water and not the waves. They identify with themselves with the self and not the bodies. What creates desire in us? Objects create desire and people create desire, but he sees everything as one. He can't differentiate which is object, which is people and which is the self. Everything looks the same. Such a person can never have such desires. This is the idea. So even in Jiva Prajna, if they have desire, they will overcome it very quickly or easily because they are established in the higher ideas. So that is the thing. They will only bring Jiva Prajna to function in the world. And once they are done, they will withdraw it back. Like when you want to go out, you take out your car, you drive, go to the place, finish your shopping or whatever, come back, park the car. You don't keep sitting in the car whole day, right? Just because it is your car. Or you don't keep driving madly whole day because you have a car. You use it when it's needed and park it back. Like that, these Jnanis, they bring out the senses, mind, intellect to do what they need to do in the world. And when they are done with it, they withdraw everything like the tortoise. Indriyani indriyarthebhya tasya prajna pratishtitaha. The prajna pratishtita Jnanis can withdraw the senses at their will and rest where they need to. When they need to bring it out again to interact in the world, they bring them out again. They perform their duties as it is demanded and then they withdraw it back again. So that ability Jnanis have. Again is what once they take out the senses, they can't bring it back. Once they bring it back, they can't take it out again. Both sides they get stuck. That is not the way of the Jnanis. They are very spontaneous, they are effortless, they are natural. And their beautiful shlokas will come in the future chapters also, how a Jnani lives in the world. Right now the shlokas are about testing whether you are a Jnani or not. How measuring it against your ability to control your desires. That is what is being asked. But eventually the chapters that follow, they tell how a Jnani lives in the world. He also performs all the duties, actions, everything as needed, but doesn't get entangled and attached. Because Janaka will get inspired by all this, saying that, oh, you are warning me that I can become desirous of wealth if I am a king. You think I can become desirous of women if I am a king. You think I can become desirous of power if I am a king. So then he will submit to Ashtavakra, please relieve me from being the king. I do not want to be the king anymore, so that I can run away to the forest and save myself from any such pitfalls. But Ashtavakra does not allow that. He teaches that is not the way I am asking you to be a Jnani. I want you to be in the world and work in the world yet not be affected. That is the Jnana I am demanding from you. So those are the wonderful chapters that will come next, and it has given me a lot of strength. When I was going through whatever little ups and downs in the spiritual path, which happens to everybody, Ashtavakra Gita really, one shloka of the Ashtavakra Gita is good enough. It will guide you through the darkness. It is that lantern in your hand. While everything is dark, just that little light of the lantern will take you out of the woods. Ashtavakra Gita shlokas are like that. What will follow is even more amazing, but let us continue in this. The next shloka is 3.8 says, Iha mutra viraktasya nitya anitya vivekinaha ascharya moksha kamasya mokshadeva vibhishika. Again, as an exclamation, Ashcharyam. I am surprised if somebody behaves like this. How? After knowing Iha and Amutra, here and there, they have done the analysis of here and hereafter, the worldly and the spiritual, or heavenly. And then Viraktasya, they are free from both. They don't have desire for the world and they don't have desire for the heaven also, because in our old times, all our people were interested to die and go to heaven. Remember, Vajashravas was doing a yajna. Nachiketa told him, what kind of yajna is this? You're giving all old and sick cows to the people in charity. That is not a good yajna. But what was the yajna for? He wanted to go to heaven after he dies. So he wanted to accumulate enough merits so he will be posted to a good heaven after he dies and he'll enjoy the heaven. That was the idea. So he says, Iha amutra viraktasya, who is free from this idea that here I want to enjoy and after death also I want to go to heaven and enjoy myself. He is free from such idea. Nitya anitya vivekinaha, he is also the one who has discriminated between the permanent and the temporary. Nitya anitya, permanent and temporary. He knows the difference between the two. That world is temporary and not permanent. Self is permanent. That is what one should know. He is a discriminating one, vivekina. Ashcharyam, I'll be surprised when moksha kamasya, the one who is desirous of moksha, he doesn't want the world, he doesn't want the heaven, he knows this is unreal, this is not permanent. Such a person, if he gets afraid of moksha, it means if he gets afraid of dying, here the moksha is Videha Mukti he is talking about. Remember, we have two types of moksha, Videha Mukti and Jivana Mukti. Videha Mukti means when you die, you don't have to go to heaven, you are liberated, you merge in the divine. And Jivana Mukti is you don't even have to die. As you live only, you are free. But here when he says moksha deva vibhishika. Vibhishika means fear or afraid of something. What? Mokshat, of liberation. Somebody who is afraid of liberation, after knowing that this world is impermanent, heaven is impermanent, the only thing that is permanent is self, I will be surprised if he behaves like that. It means if somebody is afraid of death, I would be surprised, how is it possible for somebody who knows death is not permanent and birth is not permanent? It is all a passing thing, like the waves that come and go. The ocean is there. Likewise, if somebody who has seemed to have understood everything like this and gets afraid of dying, how do I understand such a person who claims to be self-realized and also is afraid of death? Both cannot happen. It means what? Now he has taken up the bar. What is he doing? He raised the bar. First he said, are you able to conquer your desires? 7 shlokas he spent on that. Could you conquer your desires? Could you conquer your desires? Or you're still tempted by desires? Okay, you will say, no, I have conquered my desire. I am a jnani. I have very well established and I don't have to worry about these temptations. Next question. Are you afraid of death? Yes, you have conquered the desire. One part I am confused about. Are you even today afraid of the death or have you conquered the fear of death? That is the next question he's asking to Janaka. Because all of us, as long as we can live in the body, we are still okay. Okay, we will live a nice life. We will not get tempted. We will not overindulge. We will not overdo things. But at least we are in this body, and through body we are able to see the world and experience and enjoy. And this is our identity, right? If you take away my identity, then I am afraid. So this identification with the body, have you gotten rid of what he's asking? Have you gotten rid of the fear of death? He's asking. Today, if you have to die, are you ready for it? Or you are going to say, no, I have 4 daughters to be married, I have a kingdom to be managed, I have revenues to collect, I have an enemy always lurking around the corner, I have to protect my people. After all, I am the king, I am responsible for all their welfare. How can I die? If you tell all these excuses, you are not ready, you are not a jivan, you are not a jnani at all. That is what happens to us. As long as Swami says, don't worry, enjoy the world, just don't make sure that the world does not enjoy you. Abba, what a relief. So I can have my car? Of course you can have your car. Can I have my home? Yes, of course. Can I have my children? Of course. Husband? Yes. Wealth? Yes. Jewelry? Yes. All the comforts? Yes. Everybody wants easy answers, convenient answers from me. As long as I say, don't let the world get inside you. You be in the world, let the world not be in you. You say, yes, we know how to do it. Thank you. Because the truth is that world is in you. It's not fully gone. But then you take refuge in the thought that this is at least digestible. This is doable. I will try not to let the world get in. I would say this car is mine, but I am not the car, that kind of thinking. But the last time he says, neither the car is yours nor you are the car. This body is not yours, you are not the body, both. If that is firmly established in Janaka's mind, that naham deho name deho, if that is established completely, then he should not be afraid of death. That is the question he is asking, to test his conviction about his ability to go or overcome the fear of death also. Overcoming desire for the world is one part. Overcoming the fear of death or desire to live on and on, have you overcome that also, is the question he is asking. And we know by now from our Bhagavad Gita, so many scriptures, that birth and death are only two events. Like everything has a manufacturing date, it has an expiry date too. Nobody can stay permanently over here. I believe Michael Jackson had 50 physicians attending to him all the time, wherever he traveled. They will check his pulse, BP, oxygen every hour. Morning till evening, all his parameters will be checked because he was afraid of dying. So he wanted to ensure that there are people around him who will look after him. Despite that, he died of cardiac arrest. Despite having kept 50 physicians, and he wanted to live on for a very, very long time. But this was not given. When the time comes, harite nimishad kalat sarvam ma kuru dhanajana yavvana garvam, it says. Time can take away everything in a trice. Don't be too proud about anything. So death is inevitable. Knowing that also, are you afraid of it, is the question. Knowing that is inevitable, you should be ready to embrace it. It is a reality, it will come someday. And that will happen. In our Bhagavad Gita, he says, no, that I am not, you are not the body, navasansi jirnani yatha vihaya, and all that. This is what it is. That's when death is inevitable, why are you afraid? As a jnani, you shouldn't be afraid, because who dies? Your body dies. You don't die. You is the self, doesn't die. When the waves die, the ocean doesn't die. Even the ocean dries up, in the sense, water does not die. It becomes water vapor, it continues its journey. It never extinguishes, or it never goes away. So that is the idea. And every day we chant in Nirvana Shatkam, no? What is that? We chant Name Mrityu Shanka, Name Jati Bheda. Chant Ka Name Jati Bheda, Pita Naiva Me Naiva, Mata Na Janma, Na Bandhur Na Mitra, Gurur Naiva Shishya, Chidananda Rupaha, Shivoham, Shivoham. See how clearly it says, Name Mrityu Shanka. I don't have fear of death, Adi Shankara says. Name Jati Bheda. I do not have this discrimination that I belong to this caste, you belong to that caste, I am a male, you are a female. None of this matter to me. Name Jati Shanka. Name Jati Bheda. Pita naiva me naiva mata na janma. I have no father, I have no mother, I have no birth. It means I have no death. Because I am an eternal existential consciousness. Mother, father happened to this body. I am not the body, I don't identify with it. So I don't identify with these events of birth and death. Also Adi Shankaracharya says very clearly. And because I don't have a body, so Bandhur Mitra means all these relations and friends also don't exist for me. Because they exist for the body. Bodies are only your friends and enemies, right? As self, you are the same. If there are, let us say, in the ocean, you go and stand there, you see waves. A new wave is formed. It is like a new baby born. And an old wave merges back into the ocean. It is like one old man dying. And in between, 10, 20 waves are there. They're all your bandhu mitras, all your friends and relations of the new born wave. If the new wave looks around and says, who are you? I am your brother. Who are you? I am your cousin. I am 2 seconds older than you. I am 2 seconds younger than you. On the ocean, this is what is happening all the time. Oh, so when is your birthday? 2 seconds before yours. Or let us celebrate. This is what is going on in the world, is the view of the Jnani. What are you getting so excited about? When young people come for their birthday blessings, I bless them because they are children, they're still. When these old people come, I tell them, what? Still you are stuck with your body, your mind, your identification of birth and death. And then they say, no, Swami, we just want Pada Namaskar. I said, even then it is not right. Because whom are you taking Pada Namaskar from? Whom are you bowing down to? It means still you're thinking, I am different, you are different. That's why you're bowing down to me. Fine, you respect me as a guru, but deep down, what is that you should have as a thought? one wave bowing down to another wave. That's how it should be. Can't be more than that. Have you established yourself in that idea? No. All theory. So that is where I keep questioning people. So when Adi Shankara says, I am not all these things, jati, bheda, mata, pita, janma, none of this is me. So I don't really exist as a body which is perishable. So when, so to say, death is happening, where is the fear coming from is the question. Because of identification with the body only fear is coming. Or identification with bandhu, mitra, mata, pita. Why? You have still small young children. Who will look after them if I die? Mata, Janma, Pita, Mata, all these relationships are like that. I'm not saying you are duty bound, you do your duty, but not with any attachment. That is Adi Shankaracharya's call. Do as your duty. You have a father, your mother, that is, of course, in a way, it is a fact. You have to deal with it. Do your duty, but don't get entangled, attached. Don't think these are the reasons why you should exist. No, these can't be the reasons for your existence. Once I heard a story, a kind of a joke come a story. There's a man who went to the Guruji and wanted Atma Jnana, Brahma Jnana. So Guruji said, who all are there at home? What do you do? I'm a merchant. What do you do? I sell trade in goods. Who are at home? My old mother is there. She loves me very much. Then who else is there? My wife is there. She will die for me. She loves me so much. Then I have two children. They're at home. They're very lovely children. I'm very happy, very satisfied. They all love me so much and I enjoy their company. He said, do you really think these relationships are real? You want to realize the self, but you are so stuck in these worldly relationships and you're so attached to all of them. No, they all truly love me. That is why, he says, there's nothing called true love in this world. There's only true love is with God. He doesn't believe. He said, okay, I'll give you one small medicine. You take this in the night after dinner, and morning you won't wake up. You won't die, but you will be in a state of complete frozen state. You will look like you are dead. You won't be breathing, and your body will turn cold because of this special medicine. But you will be awake, and you will be aware of what is going on around you. And then I will come, and later I will come and give you Atma Jnana. He said, okay. So he puts that medicine in the night and sleeps, wakes up, doesn't wake up in the morning. So wife gets worried, mother gets worried, children get worried. What happened? He's not waking up. There is no breath and there is no body functions. Body has turned cold. Everybody, whole hangama, the whole village is there. Oh, such a good man. He was a nice man. He helped us so much. This, that. Everybody's crying. Just then this sadhu enters, the Guruji. He says, what is this noise? What's going on? Oh, this good man has died and now we are so sad. He says, oh, do you want him to be alive? Of course we would want him back. He says, I can do that with my powers. All right, please do it so. Then he says, only condition is that another person will have to die. For which sake? His sake. So if that person dies, then this person can be alive. Somebody has to sacrifice. Remember yesterday's Brahmagyanis who don't want to give a pound of flesh. Same way. So he says, of course anybody will die for him because everybody loved him so much. He did so much for everybody. The moment he says, who should die for his sake? The mother says, I am an old lady, I would have died happily for him, but then he had promised me that he will take me to the pilgrimage of Char Dham. I have not finished the pilgrimage yet. And if I die, he will feel very bad. His Atma won't get Shanti that he couldn't take his mother for pilgrimage. Therefore, I am not dying. Maybe his wife, what is a wife's life after all without a husband? So let wife die. The wife says, you old lady, you don't want to die and you're pushing me into this. Then the wife starts. I would have happily died for his sake. After all, he's my husband. He was everything to me. What will I do without him? But you see, we have two little children. Who will look after those children? Children need mother more than father. But they don't need grandmother. I think this old lady dies, that is better. So there is a fight between the mother-in-law and daughter-in-law. Everybody is fighting. Just then the Rishi, with his power, wakes up this man and says, now you know. Now you know what is real and what is unreal. What are you so stuck with these relationships and then giving excuse that you don't want to leave the world even if God calls you? Why? Your children are there, your wife is there, husband is there, this duty, that. People tell all these things. So the idea is that they're afraid of death basically. They don't want to die. They give excuse why they don't want to die, that's all. Why they feel they're afraid of death? Because they think their existence ends with this. There will be no more. That is the dead end. After that there is nothing. So they worry. So they don't want to let go of this identity, that existence that they think this body is all about. And that is the fear that people suffer with. Because of which sake they do everything. They lie in the ventilators for days, weeks, years. Why? Because body they don't want to give up. Let everybody suffer around them, no problem. But they don't want to give the body. How many people I have seen like that? So desirous. And they always tell, I'm not able to eat, I'm not able to enjoy. You're not supposed to be at this age. You're not supposed to enjoy and eat at this age. You're not allowed to. You're not supposed to. You should be dwelling in the self and limiting your food and sense cravings now. They think that, oh, what a life, I'm not able to enjoy these things. You are not supposed to. That's how God has designed. As you get older, anyway, your body is not going to work. So rather you take vanaprastha, a dignified exit, than step back and trouble everybody. So that you also are respected, everybody is also free from your burden. So that is the idea, that why God does what He does. When He tells, I will take away, or I'll give you moksha, we don't want it. Why? Because then our identity ends. Identity with the body ends. So unless you are firmly convinced about this idea that you are self, it is not possible. There is one story for the children's sake. It is there, I think, in this. There is one priest is there, the Brahmin. He will always pray, like all of us pray, please grant me liberation, grant me liberation. One day God will become very happy. He'll say, he's really asking for liberation, let me grant him liberation. So we'll send one Devaduta, his messenger, to the Brahmin's house and tell, oh Brahmin, come, we will go. He said, where? You asked for liberation, God has sent me to give you liberation, we have to go now to heaven. I'm going to take you to God. He says, no. Just now I am married, my wife is pregnant. How can I get liberation immediately? Let my wife deliver the baby. I will put her at ease and then I will come. You come back again. So this God's messenger goes back to God and says, this is what he said. God says, all right, go back after some time. So after a few years he goes back. Now there are two children playing in the courtyard with wife and him. And he goes and says, remember me? I came few years ago to take you and give liberation because you asked for it. Now let's go. He says, how can I go now? We have two little children. My wife does not know how to handle. At least I will earn a little, save some money for her and children so that their future is secure. After that, you come and take me. So the God's messenger says, all right, I will come back after a few more years. So a few more years later, he comes. There's all decoration in the house. Everything is, going on, a lot of festivity. So he says, what's going on? He says, today is my son's marriage. My daughter was just married, and my son's marriage is there. Come, good time, you have come, bless them. He said, no, I didn't come to bless. I came to take you. He said, how can I go in between? Marriage is going on. All this will go bad. I cannot come right now. Please wait for some more time. Come back after marriage and all is over. So Devaduta goes back, again comes back after some more years. And what does he see there? There are grandchildren playing in the courtyard now. And he goes to this old man and says, now you should come. He says, I would have happily come. My son is a useless fellow. All the money I have made all this life, he's squandering it away. He doesn't take care of the family responsibilities. My daughter-in-law is innocent. My wife is no more. I am the only smart person here to look after them. How can I abandon them? Till my son develops some sense of responsibility, allow me to be here. I will take care. Otherwise, he'll waste all the money that I have made for their sake. Devaduta is fed up, but he goes back saying, okay, I'll come back later. When he comes back again, he sees the children playing. The children have all grown up. He says, there used to be an old man here. Where is he? Oh, who? My grandfather. He said, he died long ago, he says. Oh, he died. What happened to him? He died and that is it. Burnt and gone. Then he puts his yoga maya and says, where is this man gone? I am supposed to give him liberation. Then he realizes that there is a snake in the backyard. And that snake is guarding all the treasure that this old man had buried in the backyard. And that snake is this old man now. The old man was reborn as a snake and is guarding the treasure of his house in the backyard because so attached to the wealth. So he tells these children, do one thing, he needs to be liberated. Take this stick, there is a snake in your backyard, give a good beating and kill the snake. So these kids go and kill the snake. That is the moksha of that old man finally. Idea is that we are all saying, give me liberation, but the moment God appears, say, let's go now. 100 excuses we give. Because we are not ready for it. We're just faking it. We just say it casually, oh God, give me liberation. When? Here and now. Come, let's go. Nobody's ready. Are we ready? So he's telling Janaka, have you been convinced to that extent that this death and birth are nothing? And should death come now knocking on your door, you should be willing to let go of the body and move on. Are you capable of that? And this is a question through Ashtavakra, the book is asking each one of us. The Janaka in us, which is supposed to be the spiritual aspirant, is being questioned. Are you okay to drop everything now and walk away? Are you capable of that? If you're not capable of that, how will you get jnana? When Gautam Buddha walked out of his home into the night in search of truth, he had to give up everything, right? He did not think, I will take my wife along with me. It's nothing. He left his wife sleeping, child sleeping, left his kingdom. And in the search of truth, he walked into the dark night, not knowing where he was heading, what he was going to do. And he stayed put. He stayed put. He determined to get the truth, nothing less than truth. And went through whatever the trials and tribulations. That's when he realized the truth, right? He did not realize the truth alongside all the other pleasures of the world. That was not given. Likewise, if you really want liberation, how many people have in this hall itself? Let us forget about those who are online. How many of us have at least once prayed, please grant me moksha, grant me liberation? So many, even I have prayed, right? So many of us prayed. So idea is that it can happen now before you reach your room. What I'm saying is that are we ready is the question. We have to be, that inner readiness is there or not. Outer readiness will never be there. There will be something or the other which will be pending always. Once you're done with your son, grandson will be waiting. Grandson is done, something else will be waiting. It will, outside readiness is just not possible. Inner readiness is all that is needed. Whenever that time comes, beautiful bhajan, our Sumit keeps singing, no? Itna to karna Swami jab prana tan se nikle. What does he say towards the end? He says, I do not want, when I'm dying, I only want your darshan. I have no other desire at that point in time. Jab kanta prana aaye, koi rog na sataye. Let me not be sick and dying in a ventilator inside a hospital. Jab kanta prana aaye, when I am about to die. Yam darshana dikhaye. Let the Lord Yama and his people, the God of death, not come to me. Let it be an easy, smooth transition. Let it not be a forced exit from the body, pulled out of the body by the Lord Yama. Let it be a smooth, happy, easy transition that I am leaving because I have no attachments left. Only attachments, I want to see your face when I am dying. That is Krishna Bhakta, so he is saying. A Jnani will not even ask for that. He says, just let me have that peace and grace to exit without making any noise about it, without feeling any regrets and remorse. Why? Because I am not attached to the body identity at all. That firm conviction has Janaka developed is the question. And have we developed that firm conviction is the question too. Let us not fool ourselves saying, no, Swami says like this, but he will not do anything like that. Don't worry. You never know. The other one day I was mentioning, when God graces you, what does he do? When you ask for God's grace, what does he do? Yasyaham anugrahanami harishye tadhanam shanaihi, Krishna says. Whomever I want to grace, I take away all their wealth first. Slowly I take it away without their realizing. Losses everywhere, treachery, deceit, like that, one by one. Everything I take away. Then what do? Dhanam tyajantyasya swajanaha dukha dukhitam. The one who has lost all his wealth, his people will start torturing him. Till yesterday, who were your friends and relatives, they were always there at your home at one phone call. Today they will stop picking your calls. In your most desperate times also, they will do all kinds of dramas. Oh, I thought I could help you, but yesterday only we committed to a new house. We have already paid. Now we don't have the money. My son's wedding is there. My daughter's this is that is that this is that. They'll never give you a rupee to you when you don't have the capacity to repay. Then nobody will help you. You try it out. I always tell these children whose relatives come and tell, do this in life, do that in life, don't listen to that Swami, you do what I am saying. I tell them, do this drama. You tell, my father lost everything because of one fellow who has cheated. Now we have 50 lakh loan. I know you are the most interested people in our welfare. Please, each one of you, 10 lakh rupees, you please provide us. Let me see how many relatives show up saying, okay, we will sell our jewelry, we will sell our house, land, we will save your family. Not one will turn up. You try it out. No, when you trust your people so much that some people come and give me excuse. My uncle had a desire, he paid for my fees so far. He had a desire that I should become a doctor or engineer. For his sake, please allow me to leave and do things. I tell the same thing to them. Just tell this to your uncle. I have lost everything. I need 30 lakh rupees immediately. I know you have got a house and you have got bank balance. Can you immediately shed all that and give it to me? Let me see which uncle will show up. Nobody will do. That is when you know real from fake. In difficult times, when the tide is low, you know how many are swimming naked, they say. When things are good, frogs are in the well when there is water. So that is what God does. He takes away the water from the well and sees how many frogs are still around. So, harishye taddanam shanaiya. Take away all that which is worldly with you so that all the worldly people leave you. What is his big greater idea? He says, Sayada vitathodyogo nirvanna syat dhanehaya. It's not there. It's from Bhagavatam I am quote. He says that person loses all the wealth. Dhanehaya, everything is taken away from him. And he tries to make wealth. He tries a new idea, new business, a new effort, new enterprise. Nothing works. Because God is sitting on top. He doesn't want anything to work. Because he wants to grace. Then what happens? Mat parmaihi. Those who are devotees of mine, Krita Maitrasya, becomes friends with them. Then he says, once he becomes friends with my devotees, leaving the worldly company, then I give my grace to him. That is what Krishna says. That is Shetad Anugraham. Then only I give my grace. So this person has asked for Krishna, I want you and you alone. How many of us have written, Swami, we want you and you alone? Okay, then you will have me and me alone. No wealth, no relations, no possessions, no power, no authority, no nothing. How many are ready? What they believe is that if we have God's grace, our lives will become comfortable. Not necessary. Tukaram was a great merchant. They were money lenders. And they had good money. Because money lenders, they make money all the time. Then one fine day, he was bitten by this bhakti of Vittala. He saw a Vittala procession going. He just lost himself in the bhakti. And then he stopped doing business. He stopped taking interest in his money lending. People were not returning his money. He was not bothered, saying, oh, they are poor. How will they return? Earlier, he used to take away their vessels and everything from home for recovery. But now he become devotee. He says, Babam, they're already poor. There is famine. There is drought. How will they repay me? It's okay. In fact, he started opening his granary and started distributing the whatever grains they had to the people. His wife got very upset. She said, we also have children. How can you give away everything to the villages like that? She fought, closed the door, shoot them all away. Saying, this man has gone mad. And she cursed Vittala, because of you, my husband has become mad. And he believes in you and prays to you, but he's not having money, he's not having, I married this man thinking we'll have wealth and all that. But Tukaram is not bothered. He's lost himself to God. Now, for a worldly person who looks at it, what will be his impression? What a useless fellow, irresponsible, not looking after his children, not looking after his wife, giving away all the money like this, not bothered about his family's welfare. Very, very wrong. That is the impression. But for a devotee, for the person who is God-oriented, how does Tukaram look? What a great devotee. Undisturbed, unperturbed, untouched by these desire to survive, to live, to thrive, to protect, to provide. He's freed himself from all these things. It so happens that one day there was nothing to eat. Somebody was a money lender, very rich merchant. In his house, finally there was nothing to eat. And it so happened that Shivaji Maharaj, who got to know about Tukaram, was very appreciative of his devotion. And he sends, that day only, sends a bag full of grains to his house. So wife is overjoyed. Finally, we got some food, and I was so worried what will we eat today. And then he says, see, Vittala is there. He provides when we need. So then he tells his wife, take what is required for today in a vessel and give the rest to the poor, others. She says, mad or what? Just now we had nothing. Somehow God has sent this, whatever you say, Shivaji Raja has sent this. At least let us enjoy this for some, it will last us a month at least. I am worry free for a month. Our Tukaram says, no, there are so many hungry there out. We will take what we need for today. The one who has provided us today will also provide us tomorrow. Let us have that faith and give away, he says. So that is a devotee. For such a person, no bandha, no moksha. He is never bound, so he is never going to be free. He is not attached to how will you make him detached. He doesn't need any of these things because he has developed that kind of detachment. So the question is that, are we ready to let go everything for God's sake? Holding on to these so-called safety nets, support systems, these trappings, thinking that this is what saves us, this is what will protect us. That is what is not going to work in the future. That is the truth. Are you ready to let go of everything is the question. And if you are jnani, only then you have the courage to let go of things. If you don't have the jnana, you will struggle, suffer, you will be conflicted. So only a jnani who is superly detached, who does not engage in anything, for him nothing matters, only God matters, such a person should not have any desire for the world. This is what Ashtavakra is telling Janaka. If you still have any desires lurking anywhere, check it out. It means you are still not fully a jnani. You are still desirous of, let us say, not of the worldly pleasures, but if you are having the desire for this identity and this desire to live on and on in this body, that itself is a proof that you are not yet there. That also must go. So my question is that only, when we want liberation, are we ready to let go of everything else? Liberation is As I said, is exclusive sets. One side is liberation, one side is the world. Don't mix up the two. Both cannot come together. Oil and water they are. They cannot stay together. You get liberation, everything else has to be dropped off. If you want everything else, liberation has to be dropped off. Between the two, you have to choose. So that is the life of a jnani. Detached, unaffected, undisturbed, because he possesses none and is possessed by also none. He is free. He is free. That freedom is the truth. But in this shloka, he was telling the freedom that comes after death. Are you ready for even letting go of your body for the sake of realizing the self, or are you attached to your body and you will give excuses? That is the idea this Ashtavakra is talking. So I have lived this Ashtavakra Gita. I have gone through. So every shloka resonates with me. I understand what he's exactly trying to say because I have the experience that I have gone through. So even the next shlokas that come, wonderful shlokas in the coming chapters, it tells you how a jnani must live. You can't run away to the forest and say, I'm a jnani, world is an illusion, maya. Why should I even engage with the world? I anyway don't need the world. But the world needs you still. And that's why for that sake you must still work in the world. Please go through everything and think deeply. Contemplate on it and assimilate it. That is most important.